Hello and welcome to this video guide on BCS operational requirements for Center Managers. This video will cover the Center Manager role and our requirements, the Operational Requirements Manual, the Approved Center Forum, obligations, policies and regulations, staff roles and how to register new staff, record keeping, qualification and learner administration, test regulations and security, quality assurance and audits, and results and certification. Defined within the Operational Requirements Manual, the Center Manager is the single main point of contact for us and is required to have an excellent working knowledge of the BCS qualifications offered by the Center. Before becoming a BCS approved Center, the Center Manager must view this video and then confirm to BCS once having done so. The Operational Requirements Manual is the key document the Center Manager must have access to. The manual can be downloaded from the Learning and Support Hub at www.bcs.org/center training or from the Approved Center Forum. Any updates to the manual are notified on the Approved Center Forum, and we will also contact Center Managers by email. The manual explains the operational requirements that approved centers must follow to successfully deliver BCS and ECDL Foundation qualifications. The Center Manager must read the manual and ensure all center staff are either provided with their own copy or briefed on relevant content. The manual is structured to provide details of our requirements and to signpost to documents, user guides, websites, or other relevant areas of the manual. There is cross-referencing throughout the manual to assist center staff when preparing for and delivering our qualifications. Before continuing with this video, please download or print a copy of the BCS Operational Requirements Manual. This video will signpost to relevant sections, and you must acknowledge an understanding of each section of the manual before confirming to BCS that you have completed your training. For more information, visit Section 1 of the Operational Requirements Manual. The Center Manager is responsible for the oversight of BCS qualifications to ensure all aspects of delivery meet our requirements. If the Center Manager is unsure about any process, you are advised to refer to the Operational Requirements Manual or contact us. The client support team can be contacted by sending an email to centersupport@bcs.uk, or you can reach them on live chat between 8 AM and 5 PM by visiting www.bcs.org/livechat. The Approved Center Forum is a secure area only available to registered center staff. It serves as the primary location for BCS IT user qualifications, news, and operational updates. The Approved Center Forum is the location in which you must place future orders and register your learners. Here you will also upload results for manual tests or evidence-based assessment. You can also report on results and qualifications achieved for all learners. User guides to complete these processes can be accessed on the appropriate pages of the Approved Center Forum. The Center Manager is required to have their own access to the ACF. You can request access once your center accreditation has been approved. You must do so by visiting www.bcs.org/ACF and click to register an account on the left-hand side of the page. Other registered staff may request access to the ACF, and everyone should have their own login. It's important that login details are not shared between colleagues. The Operational Requirements Manual provides an overview of all sections of the ACF, including the function of each area, documents available, and details of all our qualifications. For more information, please visit Section 3 of the Operational Requirements Manual. It is the Center Manager's responsibility to ensure that the Center complies with the following legal obligations whilst delivering BCS qualifications. Ensure appropriate data protection notices are in place. Ensure the requirements for current equalities legislation are met. Ensure the Center has valid employee and public liability insurance. ensure appropriate safeguarding measures are in place, ensure that the test session environment meets current requirements for health and safety legislation, and ensure disabled access is available or alternative arrangements are offered where necessary. For more information, visit Section 4 of the Operational Requirements Manual. A BCS approved centre is required to maintain a set of policies and procedures to ensure they are operating appropriately and within the law. BCS require each centre to have the following policies and procedures in place: an equalities policy, a reasonable adjustment policy, the quality assurance policy, a safeguarding policy, complaints procedure, learner appeals procedure, inquiries about results procedure, and malpractice and maladministration procedure. BCS provide exemplar policies which may be adapted and adopted by a centre if required. These are available on the Approved Centre Forum along with BCS's own policies. All of the policies and procedures listed are required to be submitted as evidence prior to your centre's audit. For more information about what is required regarding each of the above policies and procedures, please refer to Section 4.11 of the Operational Requirements Manual. BCS are required to comply with our regulators. Our qualifications are delivered throughout the UK. Where geographically applicable, our qualifications are regulated by the Office of Qualifications and Examinations Regulation, Qualifications Wales, the Council for the Curriculum, Examinations and Assessment, the Scottish Qualifications Authority, and ECDL Foundation. For more information regarding this, please visit Section 4.1 of the Operational Requirements Manual. All staff members who are involved in the management, administration, teaching, invigilation, marking, or verification of tests or assessments in the approved centre must be registered with BCS. Registering centre staff with BCS ensures we are aware of which staff are carrying out which roles within the centre. The centre manager is responsible for ensuring all staff are registered with BCS. Any amendments must be notified to BCS as promptly as possible using the centre management system. For data protection purposes, any staff member who has left your organisation must also have their status updated on the centre management system. For more information on registering and amending staff, please visit Section 5.1 of the Operational Requirements Manual. Staff may be registered in one or more roles. These roles are Centre Manager, the main point of contact for BCS, Teacher, responsible for delivering content to learners, Invigilator, responsible for preparing and delivering test sessions, Marker, responsible for marking manual tests, an Internal Verifier, who second marks manual tests and/or evidence-based assessment, the Assessor, responsible for evidence-based assessment, and the Administrator, whose responsibilities may involve tasks such as learner registrations, qualification purchases, or exam preparation where required. As a minimum, BCS required that a centre manager and at least 2 invigilators must be registered at all times. For more information on staff roles, please visit Section 5 of the Operational Requirements Manual. The centre manager is responsible for identifying, recording, and removing, where possible, any conflict of interest. We consider the following as examples of potential conflicts of interest: teachers in a school having any involvement with invigilation or examinations, teachers in a non-school centre being involved with the invigilation, marking, or examination of a learner who they have taught for the unit being assessed, or anyone having any involvement in the invigilation or examination of a learner known personally to them. Please ensure all staff are familiar with our requirements. If you are in any doubt, please contact us. For more information on conflict of interest, please visit Section 6 of the Operational Requirements Manual. BCS are required to put in place additional measures whenever staff who work for an approved centre wish to sit examinations for BCS qualifications. the Centre Manager must request prior permission from BCS to test any staff. Additionally, staff must have had no involvement in the teaching, administration, or invigilation of BCS qualifications. Staff must take their tests with other learners who are not members of staff. There must be at least 2 invigilators present and their names and signatures must be recorded, and any records relating to staff testing must be retained for at least 3 years. For more information on staff testing, please visit Section 7 and Appendix F of the Operational Requirements Manual. The Centre Manager must ensure all required information is recorded and retained within the Centre's central recording system. The data recorded in the central recording system can assist with queries at audit, or when we complete certification validation checks. This includes data such as learner details, test or assessment details, and an audit trail for certificates received. It's important that the Centre's data is accurate and backed up, as incorrect data or a loss of data may lead to incorrect learner results being issued and, in some cases, results being invalidated. An exemplar recording document, which can be adapted for use at your centre, is available to download from the document library of the Approved Centre Forum or the Learning and Support Hub. Alternatively, centres may use their own system, providing all data listed in the Operational Requirements Manual is recorded and available for checking at audit. All data and learner work must be retained for 3 years after qualification completion to ensure we can fulfill our malpractice policy. The completed guided learning hours for each learner must also be recorded. Finally, the Centre must be able to access and collate all records in relation to BCS qualifications delivered at satellite sites. For more information on record keeping, please visit Section 9 of the Operational Requirements Manual. Approved centres are permitted to carry out assessments in alternative venues, which we define as either satellite sites or off-site. Satellite sites must be part of or linked to the approved centre's organisation. They must be registered with BCS by completing the form on the Approved Centre Forum, and they must have a minimum of 2 registered invigilators. For off-site locations, the Centre Manager must request advance permission. The off-site assessment form must be completed every time, and an off-site location may only be used for a maximum of 9 months, after which it must be then registered as a satellite site. For more information on assessments in alternative venues, please visit Section 10 of the Operational Requirements Manual. Any test sessions that take place outside of what is deemed normal working hours for your centre must be documented. Out-of-hours times are defined by the Centre Manager. You must also make invigilators aware of the operating hours that have been defined. For example, if your centre is open to learners between 9 AM and 5 PM, out-of-hours will be defined as any test sessions that take place before 9 AM or after 5 PM. It is the invigilator's responsibility to ensure a record is made of any out-of-hours test sessions. An out-of-hours record sheet is available to download from the Approved Centre Forum and the Learning and Support Hub. For more information on out-of-hours testing, please visit Section 9.4 of the Operational Requirements Manual. As Centre Manager, you are responsible for ensuring BCS have provided authorization for the following: learners requiring a reasonable adjustment, such as extra time or a reader, test sessions to be carried out in an off-site location, additional test requests outside of the standard test attempt allowance, to use barriers or dividers in the test room if minimum spacing cannot be met, and to allow BCS registered staff at your centre to sit a BCS test. For more information, please visit Section 11 of the Operational Requirements Manual. The Centre Manager is required to notify BCS of specific events. These include if there are suspicions that malpractice or maladministration has occurred at the centre, if the security of any of the test materials has been compromised, if there has been a serious incident during a test session, if a learner wishes to make an appeal or to inquire about a result, if there is a requirement to apply for a special consideration for a learner, or if the center changes its address, the center manager changes, the invoicing details change, or if the center is closing or no longer wishes to retain its BCS approved center status. For more information, please visit Section 12 of the Operational Requirements Manual. BCS are obliged to report any adverse effects arising from malpractice or maladministration to our regulators. To help us with this, we require center managers to have and adhere to our malpractice and maladministration policy. We require any suspected malpractice or maladministration to be reported immediately to us. Failing to report actual or suspected malpractice or maladministration to us constitutes malpractice. Notifications of malpractice or maladministration must be sent to the Quality Assurance Team by email to qualityassuranceteam@bcs.uk. Center managers are required to assist us with any inquiries or investigations. For more information on malpractice and maladministration, please visit Section 13 of the Operational Requirements Manual. All future BCS qualification registrations must be ordered from the Approved Center Forum. User guidance in the form of documentation and videos can be downloaded from the Ordering and Administration section once you are logged in. A learner must be registered for the qualification they wish to take before any assessment can commence. At registration, a learner's identification document must be checked and recorded. They must be registered using their legal name from the identification provided. Learners who are school children must be registered using the school's address details. At first registration, a learner will be given a BCS identification number, which is a unique number for all BCS qualifications a learner takes. A learner can be registered for multiple BCS qualifications using the same BCS identification number. Once a registration has been assigned to a learner, it cannot be deleted, removed, or assigned to another learner. Amendments to learner registration details can only be made if there has been an error, or the learner has changed their name and we are notified before certification. Further details of acceptable identification documents and learner information required can be found in Section 14 of the Operational Requirements Manual. BCS wish to ensure there are no unnecessary barriers for learners by providing reasonable adjustments or special considerations where relevant. A reasonable adjustment is any action that helps to reduce the effect of a disability or difficulty that places the learner at a substantial disadvantage in an assessment situation. The learner must provide their signed consent before the center makes a reasonable adjustment application. Examples of reasonable adjustments include allowing extra time, adapting assessment materials, or allowing a reader or sign language interpreter. Both the learner consent form and the reasonable adjustment request form are located on the Approved Center Forum. A special consideration can be applied after an assessment if there was a reason the learner may have been disadvantaged during the assessment. This must be applied for within 5 working days of the assessment date. Examples include a temporary illness or injury, or some other event outside of the learner's control. For more information on timescales and how to apply for either a reasonable adjustment or special consideration, please refer to Section 15 of the Operational Requirements Manual. The Center Manager is responsible for ensuring all center staff are compliant with test security. Our requirements are: locations used for storing test papers must be secure, content must remain secure whenever the test papers are in transit, test papers should only be made available to staff members who require access as part of their role, staff who have knowledge of the test questions must never share this information, and procedures for issuing passwords for an automated test system to staff and learners must be secure. For more information, please refer to Section 16 of the Operational Requirements Manual. If your center is using an automated test system for BCS qualification delivery, passwords will be generated for learners. It is important that passwords are secure and known only to the individual. The first time a learner logs into the automated test system, they must be instructed to change their given password. BCS recommends a strong password containing a mixture of lowercase, capitals, numbers, and symbols. It should be at least 8 characters long, not easy to guess, and should not be used for anything else. It is not permitted for center staff to record or store any passwords. Forgotten passwords must be reset and, if necessary, changed again so that only the individual knows their own password. For more information, please visit section 17.1 of the Operational Requirements Manual. If your center has selected to offer manual testing, center managers must be aware of the following. Test materials remain the property of BCS. Test materials must be downloaded from the approved center forum on the day of the test. They must not be downloaded and stored in advance. All test materials, including work files, printouts, mark sheets, and question papers, must be kept secure. Live tests are not permitted to be used as sample papers. Each test bank contains the following: test papers provided electronically as PDF, mark schemes provided electronically in Microsoft Excel format, and work files provided electronically for learners' use during tests. For more information on manual testing, please visit section 18 of the Operational Requirements Manual. The center manager must ensure a suitable environment is available and prepared for live testing. This preparation includes ensuring the environment complies with current health and safety requirements, it is in a quiet location and free from external noise, checking disabled access is available, ensuring there is a working wall clock visible to all learners and to the invigilator, checking that the date and time is accurate on all the computers being used, checking that learners will be spaced at least 1.25 meters apart. If this spacing cannot be met, learners must be placed at alternate computers, checking that the maximum invigilator to learner ratio of 1 to 20 will be met. If this will be exceeded, the center manager must supply an additional invigilator. And finally, checking there are no displays on the walls of the room which may help learners in the test. For more information, please visit section 19.1 and Appendix C in the Operational Requirements Manual. The center manager must ensure that invigilators carry out additional checks before, during, and after live testing. These include checking all learner requirements are met, if applicable, checking the additional requirements for manual testing are met, if applicable, checking that invigilators know how to start an automated test, checking that invigilators know to inform all learners of the test requirements, checking that invigilators follow BCS requirements for testing, checking that invigilators record any test incidents, and ensuring center managers are informed of any serious incidents, and finally, checking that any post-test requirements are met. Appendices C, D, E, and F at the back of the Operational Requirements Manual provide useful checklists and documents to help invigilators prepare for and run live test sessions. We also advise that center managers view the invigilator training video, which provides full details of all of our requirements. On occasion, a learner will attempt a resit of a test, either to successfully pass or to improve their existing pass result. For all resit attempts, the invigilator is responsible for checking that BCS resit requirements are met. Learners are not permitted to resit a unit until at least one full calendar day has passed since the previous attempt. As an example, if a learner's previous attempt was on a Monday, they are not permitted to resit that test again until Wednesday. This is to ensure that learners are provided sufficient time to prepare for their resit. If a learner has attempted a unit 4 times, permission must be given by BCS for every further attempt at that unit. For the Level 1 and Level 2 certificate in digital literacy, only 2 attempts at each unit are permitted. For more information on requirements for resits, please visit sections 19.7, 19.2.1, and Appendix C of the Operational Requirements Manual. If your center has selected to offer manual tests or evidence-based assessment, there is a requirement for internal verification to be completed. For manual tests, All tests marked by a new marker must be internally verified. All borderline tests, which is plus or minus 1 point of the pass mark, must be internally verified. There must be a further routine 10% sample selected by the internal verifier. For evidence-based assessment, the internal verifier is expected to put in place a sampling strategy which covers all assessments for a new assessor, all satellite sites, all units, and all assessment outcomes. Centres are required to record the outcomes for all internal verification either on the mark sheets or the evidence record sheets for evidence-based assessment. For more information, please visit section 22 of the Operational Requirements Manual. We require observations of invigilation to be carried out on all active invigilators. Our requirements are: all new invigilators must be observed at their first live test session. All invigilators must be observed annually. Observations must be completed by a registered centre representative. The observer must observe the whole test session. Observation reports must be completed and signed at the time of the observation. The reports must be retained for audit purposes, and feedback should be provided to the invigilator to assist with their development. For more information, please visit section 22.1 of the Operational Requirements Manual. Results of all manual, automated, and evidence-based assessments must be provided to learners following any required internal verification. Feedback to learners must be generic, relating to syllabus areas or assessment criteria. It is not permitted to supply a learner with a full breakdown, printout, or the test paper or mark sheet. For manual tests or evidence-based assessments, results must be uploaded to the approved centre forum within the required timescales, 10 working days after the assessment, or 20 working days if there is any required internal verification. Centres or learners may appeal any decision by following the requirements in the Centre Appeals Policy and the Learner Appeals Policy. For more information, please visit section 23 of the Operational Requirements Manual. Once all units have been completed and validated, a certificate will be produced and dispatched to the Centre Manager. On receipt of a certificate, the date of receipt must be recorded within the central records. To distribute certificates to learners, centres must use the following methods: issue the certificate to the learner and obtain the learner's signature, post certificates by recorded delivery, or post certificates and retain proof of postage. The date of posting or collection must be recorded within the central records. If a certificate has not been collected within 12 months of receipt, it must be returned to BCS by recorded delivery for archiving. In some cases, if a learner does not complete all the units for a registered qualification, the centre may request a unit certificate for a learner. Replacement certificates may also be requested for any lost or damaged certificates. For details of unit certificates and replacement certificate charges, centre staff are advised to refer to the current price list on the approved centre forum. Centre managers should be aware of the possibility of BCS requesting the return of a certificate should a breach of regulations be identified. For more information, please visit sections 24 and 25 of the Operational Requirements Manual. Centres are continually audited to ensure BCS requirements are being successfully met. Audits are undertaken with the centre manager by physical visit or remotely by video conferencing or telephone. We may also wish to arrange one or more of the following: an audit at a satellite site, an unannounced visit, a learner or staff interview, or an observation of a test or assessment session. Audits are arranged in conjunction with the BCS Centre Management System. Following an audit, we will provide details of our findings along with an action plan for implementation by the Centre Manager. The audit is an ideal opportunity to raise any questions or issues with the auditor. We also welcome your feedback on any aspects of our operational requirements. Please refer to section 27 of the Operational Requirements Manual for help with preparing for an audit, including a list of typical audit questions that might be asked. We have also provided a useful checklist in Appendix G, which should help centre managers and other staff to prepare for the audit. The Operational Requirements Manual is provided to explain BCS requirements for centre compliance. To assist centre staff, there are examples within the manual of what constitutes good practice. Following our requirements should ensure the centre is compliant. There may be occasions, however, when the centre does not meet our requirements, and the level of non-compliance in a centre may lead to sanctions being applied. If we need to apply a sanction, we will inform the centre manager and explain what happens next. For full details of sanctions, please refer to our Sanctions Policy available on the Approved Centre Forum. Please find full details under Section 28 of the Operational Requirements Manual. This video has been designed to provide an overview of the Operational Requirements Manual and to highlight key points from each section. Centre managers are required to read the Operational Requirements Manual in full prior to actively commencing the centre manager role. Should there be any queries, we advise contacting the relevant team at BCS using the details on screen. BCS recommend the centre manager reviews the document summary in Appendix A of the Operational Requirements Manual to ensure all relevant documents are downloaded and available for use. We advise a new centre manager to access and complete the checklist in Appendix B and complete the invigilator training. We suggest you provide invigilators with Appendices C, D, E and F to help them prepare for every live test session they deliver. Finally, we recommend the centre manager becomes familiar with each section of the Approved Centre Forum. Thank you for watching this video. Please confirm to BCS that you have completed your training once you have fully reviewed the Operational Requirements Manual in order to acknowledge your understanding and acceptance of our regulations.